running for president, talking about technology on a nightly basis. Every Thursday night we do this, 6 to 9. Every night we do a show except for Sunday, 6 to 9 Pacific time. There's a story that just came in. Microsoft is back. Windows 10 looks fresh and exciting. It might even be good. Well, this is on the heels of them actually reaching out and asking responses from people about Windows 10. They got a lot of feedback, what people wanted when they built this. And I think that's been one of the biggest problems in the Microsoft legacy is they haven't communicated with their customers or with a social network base. Let's see what they've got here. Microsoft's Ashley Frank talks about the Windows 10 during a Microsoft shareholders meeting in Bellevue. Well, that's nice. I'm reluctant to say this, and there's a very good chance I'll end up regretting it, but on the first glance at least, Microsoft's new operating system actually looks kind of, well, good. This is from a guy named Well or Remus. Okay, I don't know what to do about that. Looks can be deceiving, of course. When it comes to carefully staged demos of new tech products, they often are. But after the debacle that was Windows 8, they fired the guy at Windows 8. Right after he came out with the entire operating system, he was fired from Microsoft. Good evening, Bob Ultra. Welcome to the show. Everybody in Boise, Idaho is doing fine with XP, thank you. Yeah, see, that's how I feel too. I use old technology. I have Windows XP playing in the other room. I've got a Windows 7 system Pro here. I got Windows 7 over there. But what's the big deal about upgrading software that uses too much cache, for one? Windows 8, and I'm sure Windows 10, is going to use about a 2 to 3 gigabyte of headroom in RAM. Without that expanded memory, Microsoft never would have been able to grow because they've got a mountain full of bad code underneath that huge little thing they call a new operating system. Not to mention the back doors that lead to security breaches, and how did they get away with that all those years? Well, here's a little window on how Microsoft came into existence. Back in 1988, this is my anecdote where I talk about Microsoft. Back in 1988, I walked into a computer company that was just starting up called Micron Computers. Micron Computers in Buena Park. And I went in there and I said, hey, I'd like to talk to your technical advisor because I want to build a computer mainframe that can handle video. I was getting into video back in 1988. And they said, oh, okay, I'll go get the guy. And the guy came out. This guy was like, what do you want to know? What do you want to know? I said, well, how do I put a target board in a Windows 3.1 system and make it work? Right now I've got 15,000 government orders. I've got to get running this new website. I've got to get Windows running on 15,000 government ordered PCs. And he left. He just evaporated. I saw him for like 10 seconds and he was back off. He had to get Windows to work on 15,000 government purchased PCs. That is the truth right there. That's it. Microsoft, Google, Facebook, they've all been built on government orders. I'm not kidding. Every year, Google has to purchase $100 million worth of Facebook advertising. It's part of their arrangement. Even though they own half of Facebook, they have to keep the notes from the government flowing. The government buys all kinds of advertising through AdWords. You know that when you click on the keyword Obamacare, you're charging the taxpayer $1 every time. It's unbelievable. I mean, there's all kinds of drains going on, and our government is just funding the tech boom. You see, when the tech boom and burst occurred prior to the Google boom, basically the money dropped out of the tech industry. So the government just said, oh, well, we'll create all kinds of shell corporations and build all kinds of new companies, and no one will ever know that we're buying them. Consequently, Google is run by the NSA, as is Facebook, as is Microsoft. One of the reasons why Bill Gates is so successful is because he embraced the concept of government orders. Whereas Steve Jobs, he's not so successful. He's dead. Steve Jobs was on the FBI's number 100 watch list, not for committing any crimes, just for being who he was. A man who had a dream, a vision. Look at Apple. They sell overpriced, underdeveloped, technologically speaking, computers that people love and are willing to pay money for because they bought into what Steve Jobs believed in. They bought into an innovation that led to iPods and countless other obvious innovations that he led the way on. Steve Jobs was on the watch list, but now he's no longer on the watch list because basically he's dead. R.I.P. Steve. I just saw the recent Netflix release of that movie on Steve Jobs. Incredible story. Really good. It didn't talk about the latter years, but the early years before he got sick. He really was kind of an icon of a modern technological genius. Without having his fingers in the code, he knew how to piece it together, and he led, and he knew how to lead. It's very interesting. I'm growing to respect him more and more. I know, many of the geniuses were just jerking off most of the time. But as a jerk-off goes, he was an excellent leader in industrial technology, whatever that means. Okay, welcome to the show. You just saw Ancient Aliens, said Steve Jobs was an alien? That's a possibility, yeah. I mean, he did have kind of like that look, didn't he? The movie was played by Ashton Kutcher. I think that's his name. He was a genius at marketing. That's what made him so successful. Bill Gates, he inherited money from his mom. His mom was one of the wealthiest women in Seattle. She's from the Maxwell family that bought Seattle back in the day. And his father was a very wealthy attorney. So Steve Jobs, going to an important university like Stanford, obviously, was a big part of his growth. Did you read the story about Steve Jobs before Steve died? No, Lenny. Thanks. Lenny, this is exactly why you've been banned from every show. What's your problem, man? Are you psychotic? Don't answer that, because you're banned. Dave, give your buddy your Netflix password, welcome to 10 to 20 years in prison. Whoa, really? Yahoo. They're going to punish people for giving your buddy a Netflix passport. This is unbelievable. How Obama's hacking law could make you a criminal. You know how Obama is so predatory on our individual freedoms? And he thinks flippantly and cavalierly about our freedom. He thinks he can walk all over us. And he thinks he can just push stuff through legislation, and he can't. Thank goodness we've got a Republican-dominated Congress now, which will stop him in his tracks. This man is so irrelevant to how America is evolving that it's like we should retire him out or impeach him right now because he's absolutely useless. He can't broker a deal. Computer security researchers fear Obama's proposed changes to federal hacking laws could put them out of business, could make computers less secure overall, and could put some of them, and maybe even you, in prison. Wow. Unbelievable. This is exactly what I'm talking about. He is the most irrelevant president we've ever had. Government should keep their sticky fingers out of the technological growth process. Bill Gates owns a lot of it, yeah. He invested in Apple. Yeah, he's a smart guy. Don't get me wrong. Bill Gates is certainly worth a certain level of prestige and accomplishment, but does he deserve $65 billion in his piggy bank? Not when it came from your government taxpayer dollars, he doesn't. Obama is a mouthpiece. So I will be issuing an order by the Justice Department to investigate Microsoft, Google, and Facebook when I become president. And I will be ordering them to look into possible monopoly violations, monopolistic trade practices. I'll be adding the court case, the landmark court case against Microsoft that cost them $600 million in Europe. And I'll be basically pitching the American people on the inability of these huge top-heavy companies to really be nimble enough to provide open source opportunities for people. And that will be my argument to the American people, that all of us need $36,000 a year. If they're going to give people $350,000 a year from New Delhi to do coding, they should dang well give our high school graduates an opportunity to compete at $36,000 a year. Don't you think? My God, we've slipped so far from what we really should be, an open source technology sharing venue. Now, if the government owns Microsoft and Google and Facebook, which I'm still doing research and data collecting on that, then why the hell don't we socialize all three companies and make them into government companies? I mean, seriously. How much money do we have to give these companies that are already living on their existing code and run it like an automated machine? I mean, we don't need a lot of people to keep this infrastructure going. Basically, it's rack servers and some air conditioner units. I mean, really. I think they're way overpaid in that area. And that's why Tesla is making tons of money, because they got a bunch of fat, rich kids who are in there sucking up to the NSA every turn they get, and they cash their paychecks for $300,000-400,000 a year and then go buy a Tesla. Yeah, well, I think the FCC commissioner should speak out against federal regulation of the internet. I'm all for net neutrality. I don't want the government to get their fingers in this whole thing. Well, Google Translate got me through a very long conversation last 2 nights ago, talking to a couple of chatters till 2 in the morning in Swahili. Yeah, it's kind of amazing. If you enter the text, it will detect the language, say, how are you? In Swahili. It's pretty amazing. I mean, you look at what's going on, it's, sure. This is how are you in Swahili. Let's see how it sounds. Let me bring it to the screen. How are you? I'm learning a language by doing this. How are you? Any other questions you'd like to learn in Swahili? Anybody? I talked to this nice Nigerian prince that I'm helping fund get his crown back. I think it's a great opportunity. In no way affiliated, brought up the biggest scam ever on the internet, the phishing scam by Nigerians. Ebola translation? Okay, we'll do that in a second. Yeah, you're so right. What's the point? The point is, okay, let me write I have Ebola and find out what that is in Nina Ebola.
Nina Ebola.
Nina Ebola. That means you have Ebola in Swahili. Do you want to have sex? Let's find that out. AR-15 truthers in the room. Okay. Oh, that's a tough one. No wonder they don't have that much opportunity to have a girlfriend. Let's play that again. Okay, now you got all kinds of answers to your question. I think Translate is doing better than. Remember Dragon Speak? No, Dragon don't speak no well. I mean, you can still buy naturally speaking Dragon. They're pretty good now, but in the early days they weren't that good. Dave, we can't let people say whatever they want on the internet. I mean, people like to start believing that aren't true, and the only people want to. Oh, come on, Monarch. You don't even understand freedom of speech. What country do you live in, Monarch? Are you from England, where they don't have any freedom of speech? Okay, Canadian Vapor, thank you. Anyone want to be translated in Swahili, feel free. Just say Swahili, ... or Swal, SWA. Oh, it was sarcasm. Wow, sorry. I'm very defensive about freedom of speech, man. I didn't mean to target you. Hi, I have Ebola. Do you want to have sex? Okay, let's try that one. That's going to be tough. Here we go. There you go. You got your answer. What's sarcasm? It's a very rare disease. It occurs when people get too much intelligence. So keep drinking fluoridated water and you won't have that problem. Okay? Okay, Barack Obama was born here in Kenya. Let's see if that's Swahili. Let's do that.
Barack Obama alizaliwa hapa katika Kenya.
Barack Obama alizaliwa hapa katika Kenya. Not bad. Your family's been Ebola free for a few years now. Are you one of those many people? You know, there's like 1,400 people under observation right now for Ebola. It's pretty amazing. I'll bring that story up to you in just a second. But late breaking news, folks. I didn't bring this up earlier, but King Abdullah has passed away. King Abdullah of Saudi Arabia has died at the age of 90 years old. He's dead. He's succeeded by his half-brother. This just in earlier.
Current issues. This leader of the Desert Kingdom hosted conferences on water and green energies.
He was a very modern king. Even though he acquired the kingdom when he was 81 years old, he basically pushed for modernization, and now the half-brother who succeeds him is not so modern, more orthodox in his belief, more traditional Muslim beliefs, more jihadist in nature. You know, the Saudi Arabians are of the Wahhabi faith, much like Osama bin Laden. I'm sure many of you have done a lot of research on this, right? Well, the Wahhabis are very strict about their belief, and just as Osama bin Laden was very strict about his belief. They never wear makeup. They never ever put any makeup on. So when a picture appeared of Osama bin Laden with makeup on, many people were kind of like, what's going on? This isn't Osama bin Laden. And sure enough, it isn't. It's an imposter. And our government has perpetrated a lie about Osama bin Laden for years. I'm off subject. Let me get back on track. Okay. No one from another country can donate to our show, Concordi. Welcome to Technology Thursday. Got a lot of amazing technology in the world right now. I love technology. I embrace it. We have a gaming show during the day. David, let's be real. Anybody with a king in front of their name is not moderate. Well, I don't know. I mean, this guy, the half-brother, is not a moderate. He's an orthodox conservative in that particular area of the world. What is the schismatic from? The schismatic is part of the chip that was installed in your brain. Perhaps you haven't read the nanotechnology behind the wafer-thin chip that was installed in your brain. Golden Orbs, hello, welcome to the show. How high exactly do you get for your gaming show? The gaming show is a high just playing the game. I don't need to smoke, drink, or do drugs or anything. I'm high on myself. Here's a special moment in King Abdullah's life where he admired Barack Obama's necklace that he gave him. Isn't that a historic moment? This was after Barack Obama kissed the ring finger of King Abdullah, which is on record as one of his many Muslim things to do. Well, Barack Obama has been very, very busy as a Muslim. But let's show you what he preferred doing. And this was shocking to the world when he did kiss the king's finger. It kind of sent people wondering, well, what's going on with this president who bends down? I mean, here he is right here with the Emperor of Japan, you know, getting ready in that supine position to kiss something. I don't know. And then there he is in his traditional headdress as a Muslim, which he is. And of course, the inimitable kissing of the ring finger. Right. I'm trying to bring you that, but I'm having so many interferences from other pictures here. They're just getting in my way. Oh, come on. Oh, you don't even care. Why would I even bother? It's kind of important I get it out, though. Oh, King Abdullah. He has passed on. Yeah. Wow, it's so strange that it would just disappear. It's psychic. Must be a psychic moment when the king's ring finger disappeared. I have a natural picture of Michelle Obama here with a very large bulge in her pants. No one really knows what's that bulge is all about. Or they can't quite figure it out. Is that like a transmitter or something? We don't really know. Okay, let me get back to the chat room. I'm digressing. Davis, do you think Obama is a Muslim? I do, G. Gordon Liddy. I do. Remember when John McCain helped Obama win the 2008 election? And the lady said that Barack Obama is a Muslim. And John McCain said, ma'am, Barack Obama is not a Muslim, ma'am. Ma'am. So what kind of a competitor would interrupt somebody who claims that their competitor is a Muslim to defend their competitor? What kind of a shill or a throwaway, gimme kind of a competitor in an election would say that? It's a straight talk express, John McCain. America is the center of the world according to your globe. Well, maybe you should look at a different globe, one that has a crack in the earth with a evolving caldera bubbling up from underneath. You know, there are some things that make this entire conversation about technology a complete joke. I'm serious. There are natural disasters that could sweep the earth that would turn all of your computers into melted plastic. I'm speaking of none other than Yellowstone National Park, the boiling caldera underneath the ground. Let's take a quick look at what the Earth is going to do. Many geologists and experts in the field say that this is going to be a huge 50-mile radius area is going to be a huge volcano someday and could very well jeopardize life on the planet. But let's talk about our iPhones instead. That's right, the super caldera in Yellowstone National Park. But let's talk about our iPhones instead. Let's keep our mind off, reality. Okay, Fed spent $432,000 studying gay hookup apps. You got to be kidding me! Oh my God! You know, that's what I love about this show. It just keeps getting weirder and weirder. Wow! The Fed spent $432,000 studying gay hookup apps. Now, I wonder if some of the senators put that together. I wonder if this is an actual... Let's find out the senator that put this together. The NIH, National Institute of Health, has spent nearly $500,000 studying gay hookup apps, such as Grindr. The government awarded a $432,000 contract to Columbia University to interview gay men who use GPS dating apps and determine whether it increases their likelihood of engaging in risky sexual behavior. What the hell? Is this a Lindsey Graham bill that passed? Furthermore, given the expedience with which men are able to arrange sexual encounters using these applications, there is cause to question if, when, and how sexual negotiation and serostasis disclosure occurs. I mean, they're coming up with words that I didn't even know existed. Serostasis. What kind of a... This is bizarre. Serostasis. Merriam Dictionary. Status with respect to being seropositive or seronegative for a particular antibody. Oh, it's HIV related. Oh, we need to protect them with less capable apps? I mean, what a joke. Speaking of technology, Samsung reached out to BlackBerry to buy their technology. Mr. Chen, a BlackBerry CEO, said, number 2 days later, Samsung released a statement saying that they didn't want to buy the company, but become partners instead. LOL, good luck. BlackBerry is the best. Businessman, you have a stake in BlackBerry, don't you? You've openly promoted the BlackBerry, what is it, the Z10 or something? You love the BlackBerry. Rand Paul is probably going to run in 2016. He's got that look of I want to be president. You know, you can't control that. You just like Blackberries. Okay. David, did you say where Lindsey Graham is considered running for president? No. I think Lindsey Graham may have been behind the whole bill to get gay application studied. I was just kidding, though. Flip phones are making a comeback. Have you seen the newest technology? God, I wish I could bring it to you, but they're coming out with a way in which you can actually wear a bracelet and it beams the image of the keypad onto your wrist, your forearm. It's amazing. So you have a little bracelet with a template on your forearm, so you're going to be doing all this. It adds new meaning to the concept of playing the violin or something. It cannot be hacked. The reason is BlackBerry remains number 1 in security. Yeah, they won't even allow BlackBerry in certain countries like India. They block BlackBerries because they are so unhackable. The government wants to know what's going on in those phones because they're trying to prevent terror. Dick Cheney is the best the GOP can do. Do you think Dick Cheney should run, or rather walk because of his heart problems? Run for president? You think he should, what's Dick doing lately? How is Dick? Dick Cheney. I was looking at older people who are stars recently, trying to get their picture. He still looks pretty young, I got to tell you. Let me make sure these are fairly current pictures. Here's Dick Cheney enjoying a lovely lunch at a $50,000 plate dinner, where he schmoozed and wined and dined all the members of the Council of Foreign Relations. And he ate a very nice piece of beef. Good for his heart. Let's see what else we got. Dick Cheney. He looks as good as Biden, don't you think? For his age? There's something about heart transplants and pacemakers that make you look so good. He looks sexually pleased. He does look like he has stamina, I'll tell you. Let's see if I can bring out the Dick Cheney look now.
Well, I really don't know if I'm going to run or not. Well, I think the problems in the world are getting too confusing. I don't really want to run for president, but I could possibly run for president. I don't know.
Dick Cheney predicted the war in Iraq would continue forever. I mean, that didn't take a genius to figure that one out. Of course, he started the war in Iraq, so of course he predicted that it would last forever. It's all part of the Henry Kissinger plan. Okay, busy, hello. I bet he could really work over Bob Dole's wife, yeah. I don't have a Cheney shrine. I'm not a Republican, guys. In case you didn't know, I was a Democrat for 30 years. One day will you be enjoying a $50,000 steak dinner? No. Capital gain. I don't believe that I want to be sold out like all those other guys. I don't want to have a price tag on my head and have to compete with all these other corrupt politicians to do the bidding of these powerful monetary elitists. I don't want to be part of that. In fact, we're putting together a plan at America's Third Party that will actually eliminate the payback scenario. Anyone who's part of our party who is elected would be ejected from our party if we found that they did a quid pro quo, pay back for some $5,000 or more donation. We don't want to do that. Either they support our party and our platform or forget it. We don't need their money. I've been looking into STAP technology over the past 2 nanoseconds, and I can tell you that so far, breaking news growing over the STAP cell sources. Currently, concerns about the sources of STAP, is probably the type of rats used. It's not exactly the kind of STAP you need. You could develop STAP infections, for one. Yeah, so let's find something else to talk about while I read more about this. Thanks. God, you really make it tough on me here. Here's a brand new super encrypted safe Android-based phone that is to rival BlackBerry. Giraffe brain. Okay, this is news. Take control of your privacy. Introducing the Black Phone. Buy it now or learn more. Let's learn more. The Black Phone. A phone is more than just smart. With the seemingly endless headlines about data loss and theft, maintaining your privacy can feel overwhelming. That's why we created Black Phone, to be a secure starting point for our personal and proprietary communications. Well, whatever happened to the Strongbox? I didn't know that they could even make this. I'm really worried that the Reddit virus, the Reagan virus, is embedded in all this stuff. I'm not an alpha male, concerned Fox Club. I'm an omega male. I'm better than an alpha male and a beta male. I'm the kind of guy who finds the most perfect life and the most perfect woman and holds on for dear life. Does the Black Phone have colored people time or regular time? I don't know. That's a question. David, I finally decided to upgrade from Windows 3.1. Mad Dog, are you serious? So you got Windows 95 now? Would you say you're the biggest omega you've ever known? I would say so, yeah. Yeah, I'm a big omega guy. Yeah, I can handle a hungry man dinner. How do you handle a hungry man? Time magazine endorses it already. Wow. Well, that means that it definitely is controlled by the NSA. If Time magazine endorses it, then the NSA already embedded the Reagan virus in it. So yeah, they want people to think they're safe. That's the first kind of person that should buy it. You really trust something like that? I mean, when Aaron Swartz, the creator of Reddit and the RSS feeds and the Strongbox, couldn't complete his task because he was killed, you really think that they're coming out with a really private computer for everybody to use as an iPhone? That's funny. Yes, you can catch our show in repeat, Funkin' Junkie. Go to our regular channel tomorrow, americasthirdparty.com, and you can actually see the show playing over and over again. Yeah, this is great, isn't it? I love technology. We're kind of merging all over the place with technology. I can't seem to get away from it. I've got a couple things that are really amazing on tap. Of course, we have our book about all these new technologies, hybrid capitalism. We'll talk about that tonight. We've got amazing solutions in our book on hybrid capitalism. We've got vertical windmill lines, power poles, vertical windmills that can be constructed like this. Let me show you this idea. This is my original idea. I came up with in 2008, but it's Creative Commons, open licensing. Anybody can go ahead and grab this concept. But it is pretty cool. It deals with winds as low as 5 miles per hour, and it generates electricity on top of power poles around America. As long as it's not near any dragging areas, it's fine. Any areas where lines are likely to cross. And plus it's safe for animals. Birds won't get caught up in the Sibonius windmill. That too is an open source technology. The Sibonius windmill idea was a great concept that Sibonius came up with back in the early 80s, I believe. And it still has great potential. So this kind of a thing could very well power up the backbone of our grid in the event of a EMP attack or a solar flare. These kinds of things will trickle energy back into our system, whether we have energy trickling in from fossil fuel or not. This is a forward concept that very well be much better than a smart grid. It'll be a genius grid that will run on its own. Thank you, AR-15. Leroy, thoughts? Let's see what you got here. Fed's New York Assembly Speaker obtained $4 million in graft. This is the tip of the iceberg, everybody. This is why we need a third party. This is a good reason.
A horde of media swarmed the FBI's white Chevy Malibu with New York State Assembly Speaker Sheldon Silver in the back seat, in custody. U.S. Attorney Preet Bharara announced a 5-count federal corruption complaint against him. Constituents in Silver's Lower East Side district not surprised.
Lock him up.
I agree. Lock him up, man. Thank you for that link. So he's allegedly been accused of $4 million in graft. Not surprising. Yep, all our shows are on YouTube, Geico Lizard. Simply go to youtube.com/America's Third Party, and you'll see all our shows. They're all there. We record about a 2.5-hour swash of shows every night. Technology Thursday is one of many. Tomorrow's Freedom Friday. So yeah, we talk about all kinds of things. 2 of several STAP stem cell batches made of 2 embattled papers not derived from, I'm not sure what this is about. Yeah. Troubling development in the STAP acid bath stem cell investigation. Someone said, I simply feel sad, echoed Shinichi Nishikawa, former deputy of Riken Center for Developmental Biology. Both scientists were speaking to bioscience technology about Akayama's recent discovery that the 2 of several STAP stem cell batches made of 2 embattled Nature papers were brought. I don't want to read about STAP, thank you. Let's change the subject. Davis, how did you feel about my old boss, Henry Kissinger? Are you the real J. Gordon Liddy? I felt very good. I felt that that Richard was slightly constipated. I felt that he should have eaten more fiber. Fiber for the win. I wear pants. Let me stand up and show you. Da, 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 da. All right, let's move on. David, you know you would be the 4th president of the United States that goes to power with no kids. Yes, Flyman, it's true. Not to worry, though. My genetic material, it will be implanted in the genetic pool of the genius pool at your local, yeah. Okay, thank you. I'm sure that somebody's going to grab some, of my genetic material someday and duplicate me. Don't worry. There'll be many of me in the future. Don't be a stand-up comedian or a jokester and have some dignity if you really want to run for president. I agree, Man of Wonder. There's no way I can get any attention if I don't make a fun show out of this. So the problem that I'm running into is our society has been overexploited by incredible exploitive television. And because I am now coming up on a president that's lied to the American people over and over again, used a teleprompter to speak to the American people, and considered perhaps the greatest orator of modern times, even though he reads everything he says, I have a lot of ground to make up in areas that he can't possibly compete. Number one, he's not that funny. Number two, he's very stiff and he's not cool, like they said he was going to be the Miles Davis of politics. He's basically an egomaniac who just did whatever they told him to do, and he's wasting our time. So I have a lot of work to cover, and in order to do that, I have to grab the American people's attention using my unique wit and humor. So if you don't like it, stick it. Police department in Texas on lockdown after reporting shooting going on. Okay. A lot of shootings are happening. Innocent people are being killed by these totalitarian police offices. A shooting near Longview. Is this Washington? Oh, Longview, Texas. Okay, the Longview Police Authorities Department is on lockdown. Department said Longview police are investigating a shooting that occurred in the police department lobby. Our reporters on the scene say it appears the activity is focused on the entrance on the north side of the building facing the municipal court building. You know, there's a lot of instances where people are actually taking vengeance on law enforcement. You know, over 140 cops have died this past year. That's why all those New York Police Department officers were so upset at de Blasio. They're very upset. Their people are dying, serving, to protect. I don't believe you know what the true meaning of democracy is, Monarch. Democracy, in the Jeffersonian sense, is a 2/3 majority. Anything below that would be mob rule. So the majority of people, say the majority of people watch porn, for instance, and you're saying democracy is going to deprave our world, its virtues and morals. Well, if the majority of people watch porn, they're not going to make porn illegal. So you're still saying we're depraved and immoral just because we watch porn? Explain yourself. Greatest rock bands announce a massive North American tour? Really? Let's focus on the room and less on just generic blabbermouth stuff. Here's blabbermouth.net. Who's going to be touring here? Rush. It did. That's totally radical. And Live Nation. Whoa. Righteous, dude. Man, some people just can't make enough money doing casinos. Isn't that amazing? Well, good for them. God love a good rehash of some good old rock and roll. See you later. Are you going to bed? Okay, DT Laura. Thanks so much for coming in, though. Tonight's the night we're going to talk about technology. I will be carrying the show for another hour. Sarah should be here after 8. She's got a late night tonight. Take a look at the murder rate. Life is cheap. It's not just porn. I mean, it's not the definition to moral or... Do you realize the murder rate was higher in 1600s, Monarch? I mean, murder is actually not as bad as you think. The rates are actually lower than most people realize. In the 1600s, you could easily die of all kinds of things. Murder being one of the many things that could kill you. Casinos will be in Japan, Osaka. Not likely, unless, of course, we see another massive tsunami taking out the entire coast. I just don't know how much tourism Japan is going to attract as long as there's a nuclear reactor dripping in the Pacific Ocean. 6 swimming pool fulls of water. Pools of water that are just sucking right into the beautiful Pacific Ocean. It's sad, really. So would you want to go to a place like that? Democide is serious. If you look at the total picture of democide, over 240 million people have died of democide. I'm not saying it isn't. But do you really want to travel to a place that is emanating radiation all over the world? Seriously. Okay, well, if you want to, that's fine. Yeah. 300 tons of water. That's 60,000 gallons. That's 6 swimming pool full of water radiated. This chart of rising ocean temperatures is terrifying. Scissor Fight. Boy, you are the link master, Scissor Fight. You put them all to shame now. You keep coming with the links, man. Well, let's be clear. We got the Epstein flight schedule. Did you happen to know what page Bill Clinton's manifest was on that one? The Jeffrey Epstein case where he was on board with Bill and Alan Dershowitz. The scandal is becoming a national disinformation stream. We don't know what to think. People don't even talk about it in the mainstream media, but we hear about it on the blogosphere about how Bill Clinton was involved. The death rate is 100%, Flyman. All the fish are dying in that region. I heard, yes, the king has died. Have you? King Abdullah has passed away, everybody. All right, well, many of you are here because you probably think that we're going to need renewable technologies that'll solve the world's problems, getting rid of the dangerous radiation. I, for one, proposed a plan, and I continue to propose a plan where we build a large mound on top of the Fukushima plant and take that mound and turn it into a fast breeder or burner reactor and get rid of the dangerous nuclear radiation that's currently there. Look at that. This is a mound idea that I have to cover the entire reactor number 4 that has 1,200 spent fuel rods leaking in it. That contains the problem and eliminates the radiation from entering the atmosphere with steam when it rains. It also gives us the ability to park an aircraft carrier, the USS Forrestal, at the opening of Fukushima Bay, blocking much of the water, and then do everything we can to clean that water and get rid of the dangerous levels of radiation using fast breeder technology. That's something I'm suggesting, and I plan on doing just that, with or without TEPCO's approval. If Japan doesn't want to work with me when I'm president, I will initiate the reenactment of World War II. Because we've got to stop this problem. We can't just sit around on our fingers and go, you know, there's all kinds of people at TEPCO that are probably on the take. Really, a guy just dropped into a pool there and died just the other day. No, we'll just initiate World War II again. We'll reenact it. We'll tell Japan we're going to reenact a coastal invasion and we'll attack the Fukushima area using robots, unmanned vehicles. And we'll begin the process of covering the mound whether they like it or not. Reptoid? I don't know. Reptoid? I have no idea why my show is at the bottom of the list. Yeah, I can't tell you. Some people just aren't real happy with a third party, I guess. I agree, Monarch. Kids have been demoralized. I agree. Oh, I'm not saying that we aren't heading toward a layer of immorality in our country. Yep. An apathetic mass of immoral consumer drones. Collapse of the Republic. It seems that you're right. I'm not in any way differing with you on that. I want to elevate our adherence to the Constitution and at the same time stay appropriate to the time we're living in. Remember, the Constitution was written by people who are dead and was relevant almost 300 years ago, but may or not be relevant to everybody today. But in no way would we rescind the major progress that the Bill of Rights has accomplished and all the amendments have accomplished. Yes. The neutron radiation is the most severe and dangerous known to mankind. It can travel great distances. Yes. Obvious implication for human health. I agree, Drag King. A lot of you are really in tune with the situation in, there's Drag King's comment, in Fukushima. Thank you for staying abreast of that. All right, yeah, I'm not really sure what's going on with the net tonight. It's possible that the feed is being singled out as being, maybe, who knows, maybe Mark got a call from somebody in government saying, hey, put this guy at the bottom of the list.
I'm going to make you an offer you can't refuse. Put this America's Sick body on the bottom of the list, okay?
Well, I look at the murder rate, but again, murder has occurred for centuries, man. All right. Why the coral has died. Yes, you're right. Did you see the realistic Toshiba, scarily realistic robot hostess? Check this out. You thought you had the hostess with the mostess. I don't think you've seen Miss Robot Hostess. Check her out.
She's warm-hearted and happy to help people. And she loves to chat using sign language.
Oh. I can imagine where that finger is going to go. Okay. Problem with browser. Lock up server. That fried my shockwave. Leave it to the Japanese to put out a video you can't play on any computer. Wow. Unbelievable. I cannot believe I have to deal with this. Meet Chirahira Aiko. Hostess with the mostess. Let me get into my actual Vaughn TV show. Accessing browser. Firefox fixed that little bug with the shockwave so they don't crash completely and take your computer down with you. That's the only good thing about the shockwave crash. Ah, yes. It took my entire flash system down. I will clear my cache. I will open it and close it. Yeah, that's not good. If I clear the cache, I'll lose all of the links that I just got in the show. Let me try restarting the browser from start. Let's see if they correct the problem. It's an auto clearing function. Ah, yes, good. Okay. We're in the money. We're in the money. Got a lot of great links here. Okay. Yeah. I was talking to a dude, David. Okay. Linux version works just fine. Let me ask you this in Swahili. All right, any other questions? Gosh, I guess my cache is okay. Cache is cache can. Okay, I'm good. I'm back up and running now. Okay, thank you. I'm not sure what's going on tonight. I really don't get it. But I can tell you we are experiencing a little bit of technological issues, conflicts with browsers. Well, Drag King, I'm afraid I don't think Ed has ever had sex. So maybe Shinikara is the closest he'll ever get to a girlfriend. Hello, welcome to Japan. I think it's pretty amazing that they created such a realistic robot. It doesn't surprise me. Those Japanese, they love romance. I know. You were talking to Comatose? Okay, sorry. David, have you read this book? From my art book. Ye be seas free. Oh, okay. You know, I haven't read the book about the starships and the stargates in Egypt, but yeah, sure. That's all I've got to do is find out about stargates and pyramids. I had a wonderful conversation with Doug Vogt about that. He's written a couple books about Egypt and the sun and the stargates. He's a pretty amazing guy. He figured it all out. He's the guy that commented about the birth certificate issue. He claims it's a complete fraud. He wrote a 47-page statement to the FBI about that, how he thinks, and he's an expert on documents, but he has some interesting ideas about the sun. Oh, I disagree. You know, if you could put your mind back in the turn of the millennium, 1000 AD, where people had their heads chopped off just for looking cross-eyed, I don't really think you could say that murder is some sort of a brand new phenomenon due to the immorality of our society. I think you're really stretching it there. You have to understand that murder has been going on since biblical times. I mean, look at all the murders that occurred during biblical times. So don't just go off thinking that this is some brand new phenomenon and the terror is getting worse and the morality is getting worse. I mean, you're falling into an abyss of false belief. You're watching 5.0, and even I was shocked. Hawaii 5.0, great songs, great music. The kind of music that you look back in time and say, wow, if only we had musicians like that could play that. I mean, what a great... Okay, any other questions? Great. Okay, we're back at you. Wow, let me tell you. You've been murdered many times, as you recall, Mentor Manzuba. What's your concern? Truth.org, Supreme Court upholds an auto stop with no traffic violation. Wow. Right. They're redefining, the cops and administrators we call justices or judges are actually redefining laws as we speak, making them random. You know, there's nobody hurt in a traffic stop. No harm done. Traffic violations are a no harm done situation. Technically, the police don't have any jurisdiction in that area. I will work to limit the amount of federal funding to all the cities in America that encourage traffic cops and speed guns. I don't think we need them anymore. I think we've got a lot of serious wasted money going in that direction. You know, modern day systems could be put in play. So say you got a traffic light with cameras, and we've got the systems already in play to send you a ticket for going through a red. We've got them all around Seattle. And What we should do is make sure that all of those systems are simply warnings. And if you do it like 3 times, then you get a ticket. But you get a warning the first 2 times in the mail. Email, that is, not physical mail. Email. And everyone will have to have an email account as a driver's license. Perhaps we are the aliens that will travel to other worlds with our probes. I think your probes have probed a little too much in the alien world, comatose it. You may want to check your probes, make sure they're all clean as a whistle. David, if you've watched the excellent Russian entertainment of Dashcom Des, and so you'll know that we need traffic cops. You know, I've driven I-5, the Grapevine, and I can tell you traffic cops don't change the way people drive. You go on any of the Grapevine roads or any major highway across the country, and people all drive 100 miles an hour. And there's traffic cops all over the place. You're telling me that they work? Hello? We are wasting tons of money. New Jersey set up a sting operation in which they actually put Donald Duck in the middle of the intersection. I'll give you a link to it. It came in last night. It's a New Jersey traffic cop entrapment situation. Check this out. In New Jersey, they put Donald Duck in the middle of an intersection, walking across the street, and anybody who crossed that intersection was given a ticket for not stopping. It's called entrapment. And this is what I'm talking about, the enlargement of the police state that we're seeing under the Democrats and Republicans. They could care less. They just want revenue. They brought in $30,000 in one day on this sting operation. Do you believe in aliens? You know, I've met a guy who said he was a Martian. And he, at the time he said it to me, I said, seriously? He said, oh yeah, I am. And he said it with a serious face, and he looked very strange. He had kind of molded, waxy face. It almost looked like he was wearing a mask. And the guy says that he was a Martian. Well, I thought nothing of it. So I walked down to a store near the area where I was working, and it was a very weird store with a bar in the middle of it. And I walked in there and I saw him. And I literally saw him disappear in front of my eyes. It's like he walked into some sort of a portal or something. I did look away for like a nanosecond, look back, and he just disappeared. So I can't tell you if that guy really was a Martian or not. But that was pretty strange to have him disappear right in front of my eyes. And I have seen a couple of unidentified flying objects. I saw out in front of Oak Harbor, Washington, where I live, there was a massive blimp-like figure out in the bay, above the bay. And Sarah looked at it, I looked at it, and said, yeah, that's one huge blimp. It was about the size of Safeco Field, where the Seahawks play. I said, yeah, that's one massive blimp. And I turned away to Sarah, I said, look at that. I looked back, and it was gone. No, this is not the Jeff Bridges antidote. That'll be some other time. But this is a phenomenal experience to see something that big in the sky just disappear. And then I learned, no, this is not a lie. I'll lie detector test me. Go ahead, hook me up. I don't think I'm silly. I've never had an LSD experience. I've known friends that had purple microdot experiences. I knew a guy that dropped 3 hits of purple microdot in one night. Some friends were playing a trick on him. I literally stayed up with him the whole night into the next day. No sleep at all. Talking him down from the worst trip he'd ever had in life. So I would never do that. Wow, you are the chosen.
She's the quiet type, but strong-willed. She's warm-hearted and happy to help people. And she loves to chat using sign language.
It took that long for the thing to download. Look at that. That is so weird. And it locked up my server again. Unbelievable. Meet Chiro Erekako. They cannot possibly make a robot when they can't even download video like YouTube handles. I mean, this is absurd. This is the second time I download Chicago. I'm definitely not inviting her back in. The black phone is interesting. Okay, let's see what we got here. I'm going to try to restore chat now. They made a couple of changes in the Firefox browser to make this thing work. Hopefully it will. Okay, back at you. Good. Loading chat. Yeah, I can't download that video at all. That's as much as I got of that woman. That virtual woman. Okay, new stuff to share with my viewers. Yeah. You know, all I have to do is go to America's Third Party's link library, and I can go through all the links and pull up all kinds of new stuff for our show. Let me go to the most important information stream about the Chinese stealing our F-35 plans. Edward Snowden revealed the Chinese have actually reverse engineered the F-35. This is seriously shocking. I mean, we're talking about the J-31 here. This came in last night. Epoch Times is featuring a story. Edward Snowden has leaked more information to the German newspaper Der Spiegel. The leaked slides show that the Department of Defense knows the Chinese hacker is possibly working for the cyber division of the People Liberation Army. Stole the plans for the Stealth Joint Striker Fighter, F-35, also called the Lightning II. Snowden revealed more bad news for the $400 billion F-35 project. I mean, there's all kinds of things in the news. So that's just one story. Okay? Going back to my link library, I can look at other links. Okay. Monarch, why are you being so rude? I cannot respond to your garbage complaints about me flip-flopping when you don't even understand the moderate position. You are an extreme right-winger. You're bordering on white supremacy, dude. I'm a moderate centrist. You'll never understand that. It's true. Mentor Mozumba is correct. The Jewish people, the Israelis, reverse engineered the F-15 to beat Islam. Well, you know what they also did? They improved upon it. You know, the F-15 actually has, their version has explosive armor, which is their innovation. Isn't that amazing? Cluster bombs that blow up outside of the vehicle to defer any heat-seeking missiles. Israelis have more patents than any other country in the world, you know. Homeless people in Austin, Texas are being evicted. This is a classic example of a president who doesn't address the homeless situation. And, you know, I can't say that Texas is really doing a big deal about it anyway. Take a look here.
This is the woman who was found Monday near a homeless camp in North Austin. Just days after the discovery of her body, people living in that homeless camp are being forced to move. We went to the camp today and got an inside look at the living conditions. The Sky TV's Lydia Penthazis reports if they don't leave, they'll face consequences.
Okay.
Getting morning coffee.
For some reason, that's not playing either. Maybe it's a flash issue or something. You know, my problem is I'm probably going to have to leave the Firefox browser goodbye for tonight. Every time I get a major flash shockwave crisis, it just drops out. You know, I'm going to go ahead and stop the plugin on that, cancel those two orders, and bring up my Google browser. I installed it because it's a backup, and I've talked to a few people that find it's much more effective in dealing with shockwave updates. This is all technological information that you wouldn't know unless you listen to our show. So if you are having problems with shockwave, flash, do go to do check out the Google Chrome browser as an alternative, for sure. I'll bring up the show there. Yeah, I'm just having a real problem with that other one. If you ever have a problem finding our show, you can always get it at our video chat hub. Or can you? I guess it's not even popping up there. Wow. Okay. All right. I guess something's telling me to go back to the browser I was on. Okay. Wow. Technological difficulties on a Technology Thursday. What can I tell you? All right, so inundated by technological growth, I have learned to kind of ride the wave without spending a lot of money. I'm one of the people that got stung really hard in the 80s. I told you I was building a video computer back in 1988. I paid $10,000 for computers back then. I'm good, Giraffe Brown. I can still see the chat rooms. Thank you. A showing of my nails? Okay, there you go. I am not an alien. Let me lift my prostheses. As you can see, these are completely normal and human-like in every form. My hand even works much like a human's. No, I'm sorry, toenails are off limits because of your fetish. Remember you were seeing a sex therapist about that? Okay, somebody said, David, stop with the humor. Nobody wants to hear a funny guy at a time like this. Well, I disagree. Make coders develop BlackBerry apps, says Firm's boss. Make them. Make them. Force coders to develop the BlackBerry code. Force them to do this. I mean, this is ridiculous. Make them. Sounds like Bill Gates saying, make them write code for Apple or for Microsoft. All right, back to you. Well, she did say that the blimp disappeared. She did say it disappeared, but she said that it wasn't really a big deal. Sarah is not affected the way I am by visual stunning events like that. She said it just flew away. And I said, how did a blimp the size of Safeco Field fly away from our view? How is that possible? What she didn't know is video cloaking devices have been used for approximately 50 years. These video cloaking devices have been developed to shield humans from seeing spacecraft currently flying in the atmosphere. Let me give you an example of a video cloaking device used for a particular type of means of transportation developed by DARPA. What you're about to see is rumored to be developed at Area 51. Here's an incredible video. Take a look at this. These technologies have been in play for many years, reverse engineered from the Roswell incident. Humans have been developing similar aircrafts with the help of the valiant Thor, who is still currently working underground, as he was in 1936. Yeah, I've got a picture of the TR-3B right here that I'd like to show all of you, but for some reason it's being blocked. Let me show you a triangle UFO that's very close to what I'm talking about. This is it. This has video cloaking capability and technology. See that? Yeah, this is the TR-3B, which is a highly secret particular thing that the government's never really admitted that they are building. So I can't verify whether this is fake or real. All right. You know, that's Monarch, you're out of here, man. Yeah, I'm going to ban you. All you do is sit here in our show and demoralize us. Topper Dan, he learned his lesson, or I think he did. Well, I was about ready to ban Monarch for his outrageous statements that I'm a flip-flopper. It's crazy. I'm not a flip-flopper. Unwanted ban. No, I won't put my foot on my book, but you can buy a one copy that is signed. It's a number 4 copy, and it doesn't have any page numbers in it. And the book is available. If you make a donation right now, $100, I will send you that copy, that number 4 copy with our signed signatures on it. I won't put my toenail on it, though. He's rude about Sarah, our future sexy version of Barbara Bush. Mentor Mazuma, yeah, he was being rude. You know, a lot of people don't realize how important Sarah is to this entire effort here. I don't think many of you realize that. Even though I carry the show because she works a lot, she is basically the rock that holds us together in many ways. I'm the guy who's leading, constantly pushing to keep the show going. Apparently it's not for sale. TR-3Bs are completely top secret. Aviation Week and Space Technology magazine broke the news that the term Aurora had been inadvertently included in the 1985 U.S. budget as an allocation of $455 million for a black aircraft project in 1987. Thank you. There's a lot of black aircraft projects. Remember the SR-71 Blackbird? That was a plane. Many people wonder why Richard Branson is even trying the Virgin Galactic when the Blackbird could have been modified to give people a trip into the same area that the Virgin Galactic system is running, or crashing, I should say. SR-71 Blackbird has been an amazing craft for years. I mean, take a look at this. This is the kind of thing that'll go up to 70,000 feet, no problem. And this is ancient technology, man. I mean, look at that AR-15. Check that out. I mean, this is the kind of technology that could have housed passengers of 3 or 4 or 5 people. I mean, why are we even spending money with Richard Branson? Why are we giving Richard Branson a free ride? Why is he getting all of these technologists to work for him for practically nothing? Why are we giving him the infrastructure, the billion-dollar industry? We're just handing it over to this rich guy who thinks everything is just his own wonderful ride. I mean, it's crazy.
We're absolutely delighted today to have another major milestone under our belts at Virgin Galactic.
I know. I'm absolutely delighted. I'm so excited I can't even control myself.
I mean, what is his problem? I mean, he crashed 2 of these things. The units crashed. There's no reason why we would continue a failed project, but he wants to put his entire family at risk going into the air, pretending to be a great aircraft pioneer. And it's just crazy, man. I mean, the crash that had killed 3 people in Nevada, and then recently the crash that killed the pilot of one of the craft, one of the guys that handled the wings. It's crazy.
I love to innovate with other people's money. I like to use all of the technology available, and I want to continue taking from NASA all the money that people want to give me.
Well, check out the rotation this particular vehicle has to make.
For the second time, our wonderful pilots took Virgin Galactic Spaceship Enterprise flawlessly through the sound barrier to higher altitude and greater speed than ever before.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Release, release, release.
Okay, this is the particular movement right here. Where the see this? Charlie, Vector 5, Indigo 3, Charlie. We've got conversion. He wants to take the wing platform and make a 45-degree angle And this is precisely why the unit crashed recently, and they had to catapult out of it. Look at how fragile the airline seems to be. It's amazing, and it's all carbon fiber fuselage. It's lovely, and I just hope that it won't crash again, and I certainly hope he doesn't hurt his family doing that. I don't know. I mean, when does a person say, we may have the wrong way to get out of the atmosphere? You know the best way to get out of the atmosphere? The best way, the very best way, is to actually corkscrew out of the atmosphere. It's a no-brainer to know that the technology, even Martian technology, if you look at, even sci-fi writers and how they look at how things could possibly elevate out of the skies and do strange, weird things. Even the idea of a Martian spaceship has a greater technological breakthrough behind it than somehow jettisoning something with a backpack up and then spinning off into the air from there like it's some big joyride. It's just crazy. I mean, the idea of reverse engineering what we think could be Martian space technology is very real, and we could theoretically levitate using modern technology. Ion generators could actually draw energy from the atmosphere, powering up the vector centrifugal force, which then creates a lift. Do any of you follow gyroscopic technology? It is rocket science, but not in the way that you think. Gyroscopes, when you hold a gyroscope, a gyroscope and spin it around. Kids do this in classrooms to feel the strength, physics. When you spin something around really fast, you feel the force going like this. Well, that force acting together from all different angles actually creates lift, believe it or not. I know this sounds completely out of everything you've been taught, but gyroscopic technology applied in a circular manner to a 360-degree vessel like a spacecraft could very well create levitational lift. I'm not going to stand here and prove it to you, but I can tell you that the future is very bright for levitation. And the process of pulling ions from the atmosphere and using them to catapult through space is a hell of a lot better than the kind of technology that we're currently looking at, where we put a massive amount of liquid hydrogen or H3 on a vessel and send it into the atmosphere and jettison it to another planet and then boomerang it off another planet. It's not sustainable. I do not have this technology all twisted. In fact, I'm leading in technology. I have the plans for interstellar space travel with me. I can't give it to you yet. The valiant Thor has not released the details for all of us to look at. Yep, there you go. Amazing science experiment. Check this out. The video does not exist. It has been banned by aliens. They don't want you to know about it. Yeah, forgetting gravity is a wonderful thing. Making gravity work for you. What a concept. Saudi Arabia is reeling for the loss of their leader. According to Carl Icahn, oil is going to go even lower. Saudi Arabia is blindsiding the world right now and engaging in what many people believe is a predatory practice of overproduction.
Oil will go lower, and Saudi Arabia is sort of blindsiding the world, and I don't blame them. I think perhaps they made a smart decision for themselves, but I think oil, it's very sensitive to a very small difference in supply and demand.
Hi, Sarah. Yeah, I'd love some. Thank you. Well, Goldman Sachs just put the Brent crude oil long-term futures market to be around $39 per barrel bottom. That's beyond anyone's wildest comprehension a year ago. It's true, Monarch. I think if you could power up everything with my opinion of myself, you'd probably be able to run forever. I agree with you. I am the pioneer of our great country into the future. Thank you, I am, Golden Orbs. I hate to be so modest, but I'm confidently modest that I'm not an egomaniac. Well, Goldman Sachs set their bottom line at $39 a barrel. That's pretty reckless of them, if you ask me. Yemen has lost its leader, and they never really had one since General Saleh. And Juan, you can thank Barack Obama for creating the crisis in Yemen. He's the one that used JSOC to go ahead and use that area as a bombing area to test their weapons. He's the one that turned his back on General Saleh when he asked for asylum. Yeah, you can blame Obama on Yemen. And everyone else needs to look at Arab Spring and how it's created so many problems around the world. This is the Sufi whirling dervishes of Istanbul. And look at how they float. The whirling dervishes of Istanbul. Watch them levitate. It's beautiful. It's almost a beautiful dance of sorts. That same concept applied to space technology could very well create lift. So yeah, get on board with the reality that we are potentially going to have to look at a way of getting out of the atmosphere other than piercing through with a massive amount of rocket fuel. I'm going to go ahead and clear some slates here. Sarah has made it into the room. She came in a little bit early tonight. Thank you so much for coming in ahead of time, Sarah. A plant-based plastic milk carton is now on the shelves, folks. Something made out of lignin. The first entirely plant-based plastic milk carton is now on the shelves. It's wonderful. And I bet that's a heck of a lot more biodegradable when you think about it. Look at that. This month, anyone in Finland who buy a lactose-free skim milk drink called Iäla at the supermarket will be buying the world's first carton made entirely out of plant-based plastics, right down to the cap. Fascinating. I can't wait to legalize marijuana and make hemp plastic. All around, could be easily replaced and be much more environmentally appropriate. I don't like to dance, no. I do on occasion like to dance when I'm excited. But if I'm not excited, I don't really like to dance. I'm a genius, yes. I'm not an egomaniac, no. I'm very humble about my IQ. I don't talk about it all the time. Only when you ask me. Your jealousy, Monarch, is just inappropriate for our show. You need to bag the envy and come up with some new ideas like myself. I've come up with a lot of new ideas. You haven't come up with any. I will top her down. I'll bring her in. Yeah, you're quite jealous of me, I can tell. I can spot jealousy a mile away. Well, you'll have to recycle kitty litter pretty soon. The integration is a structure designed by George Van Tassel, claimed to be capable of rejuvenation, anti-gravity, and time travel. Buck nasty. Integratron. Thank you. You got a theme song? It's really catchy. I can't play songs on our show. Oh, the Boston bomber trial has been delayed. Yeah, you know that story where they're trying to shaft this young man who, even Michael Dukakis says that he didn't do it. There isn't enough evidence to put this guy away. He actually came to the event at the Boston Marathon attack with the backpack, and he's on camera leaving with the backpack. I mean, how do you put a guy like that on trial for something he didn't do? It's amazing. Oh, Sarah's in the show, everybody. Yay! Thanks for that link, Buck. I'll take a look at Integraton. Appreciate it. Muy apreciado. Well, she makes her own money. I keep my money separate. We have a separate checking account. Sarah is an independent woman. She's a modern independent woman who deserves to have her own money and deserves. I don't have a problem with that at all. I love it. They killed a cop. Oh, really? The EU is starting to pump out the currency. Mario Draghi decided to print the $600 billion. Open-ended European QE started with a bang. I don't want to go to that story right now. Let's just introduce Sarah. Thank you.
Thank you.
I know, Leroy. Monarch is very jealous of me. He probably looks like a cow heading in the wrong direction. And he probably is jealous that he doesn't look as good as I do. Sarah, you look fabulous. I love that coat and everything. How was the show? Was it fun?
Mm-hmm. It was fun.
Good.
It went well.
Excellent. as always.
How's your night?
I've had a lot of broadcasting. I did the gaming show. I did all kinds of stuff on there. I played the new Tiger Woods PGA Tour, and I love it.
Oh, really? Good.
And we have 2 tours. We have 2007 and 2008, so we have all these incredible golf courses. It's going to be really fun.
Good. Thank you, Drag King.
I got into an interactive MX versus ATV game with a bunch of young people.
Wow.
But I think I need a better ATV.
Oh, okay.
Mine was slow. I was last, of course. But
yeah.
Yeah, the north end of a southbound cow. That's what he looks like.
Yeah, I'll leave it. I'll let it go down. Yeah, it's just in a. It's
in a
like
bun.
A French bun.
Yeah. E-cigarettes may contain formaldehyde. This is coming from Giraffe Brain. Thank you for that, Giraffe Brain.
Well, I think regular cigarettes contain formaldehyde as well. You don't put it in the other.
I do. I just
tons
want.
of screen.
I know, and I just want to show it just for a second.
1 second, you're done.
Let me just get it out of here.
Kidding.
Science is back with some sober news about vaping. These types of experiments show that they may have a known carcinogen, a high concentration of formaldehyde, everybody. Why does that not seem surprising that they don't do proper studies on things before they introduce them into our society?
Well, I just wonder how it compares to regular cigarettes.
Yeah, totally. Joe, I don't think I'm wasting my time because I get a chance to ban you from the show. I wouldn't have been able to do that. I wouldn't have known what a complete airhead moron you are to ban you. So, yeah, thank you. Even if I can't become president, at least I can ban morons from our show. Thank you. Bye, Joe. I'm going to get some coffee. I'll be back.
Okay, thank you. It was simulated vaping. A human did not use a vaporizer. Okay. You're rather into not smoking at all, and you usually ask people around you not to smoke near me. That's good. That's very good, especially with the secondhand smoke thing. True, Topper Dan. We already do dominate the world, the USA. Oh, you read the article. Good job, Leroy. Imagination is important. Follow through is important. Okay, DJ. Why don't you vote? I know, it's like a duck shoot. Exactly, Mentor Mozumba. Yeah, I like browns. I think browns are my color. Dragging. I really like browns. Yes, I need you, Monarch. I need you like the flower needs the rain. You know I need you. Oh, it's associated with dry puff conditions. What's a dry puff? Like if it doesn't have enough water in there? Oh, maybe you're right, DJ Nuts. Maybe you're not. You know, they pay you a little bit of money if you do your jury duty. Oh, thanks, Striking. Oh, thank you for helping me stand up for myself. You would argue that you need me more than you need me more than Monarch needs me. No.
Top news.
I agree. Carcinogens of any type at any time are not good.
I agree. Top news: King Abdullah has died at 90. The Saudi Arabian king has passed away today. Leaves a power vacuum for a very conservative jihadist taking over.
Yeah. I like the Monarch with a 4 in it and a 0. I kind of like Leet spelling. Hi, Ronnie. Yeah, it could be the isn't it the what type of Muslim is it that would take over in Saudi Arabia? Not the Sunni or the Wahhabi.
Very strict Orthodox Muslims, and he's very, very much in favor of
the Wahhabi could take over in Saudi Arabia, that would be kind of scary. Yes, I did see what appeared to either be a giant helicopter or a blimp. I will say this. I was looking at it, then I turned and walked away, and then I looked back and it was gone. Yeah, well, some of the people in the royal family, Topper Dan, especially some of the princes, are very strong in that Wahhabi faith. That's all. The only reason you don't register to vote is because you want to get out of jury duty. There's a lot of So here's the thing, DJ Nuts. Do you live in a big city? Or do you live out in the country? Because I live kind of out in the country, and I just got called for jury duty. And then I called up and they said, all the cases, there's no cases for you for jury duty. Call next week. There's no cases for you for jury duty. You've done your time. I didn't have to go in. All I had to do was call in twice. Fill out one sheet and call in twice. If we dream when asleep, maybe we dream when we are dead. Maybe. Maybe we sleep when we're dead? I don't know. Yeah, the speed cameras get people all the time. And think if you did serve jury duty, you could always say, not guilty, not guilty, not guilty. Be totally nice to the person that you would be having to serve jury duty for. Just go in with the idea. I'm totally going to always say not guilty unless they're completely prove that he's guilty. Yes, I agree. There are plenty of other things to do that are more healthy and fun than smoking a cigarette, and funny. Oh, true, most shady. Very good. Maybe your soul is still active as well. Yeah, well, you know, I'm not. I come home, I'm just tired. So. But I do like sleeping. And sleeping is a time to recharge your brain. Okay, I see David has tons of links open. I guess they all came from you. All. The big news around here is this: Seahawks are going to the Super Bowl and the Patriots are getting indicted on some kind of cheating thing. What do I think about the price of gas dropping? I think that's great, even though it's not showing up in the price of food dropping. Like,
no.
Milk is still like... Milk
$3
is more expensive than gas.
And you know why the prices of food keep going up and gas is going down? There's a lot of theories behind the whole thing. A businessman brought up a point. He thought that the Saudi Arabia is upset about the Keystone Pipeline and operations there that are going forward.
Everyone should go into court with the idea of the defendant being not guilty, because our entire criminal justice system is based on the idea of innocent until proven guilty. So you should go into, as a jury member, you should go into the idea with the person is innocent, and they've got to prove it.
Yeah, they do. In our country,
they're guilty.
In our country, it's innocent until proven guilty.
I am not kidding you. That is what our entire justice system is based on, and that's what I would do if I were a jury member. I'd go in with the idea that this person is innocent, and they've got to prove it to me that they're guilty.
Now, this is going to shock many of you, but if Saudi Arabia were to gear up production at, like they are, 2 million barrels per day over and above the world demand, there won't be enough places to store it. So they're going to be forced to cut back. And if, with the change of leadership, this new half-brother of King Abdullah decides to just screw America over, turn a back on an ally, a long-standing ally, they could literally send the price of gas up dramatically by creating a shortage, an artificial shortage on their end. 18% of our fuel comes from Saudi Arabia. That alone could very well spike the price of gas back up to $4 or $5 a gallon. Yeah. In 2 years, DJ Nuts says it'll be $5 to $6 a gallon. Yeah. And you know, past $4.25 a gallon, it's not sustainable for us to actually drive distances to work. At that point is the tipping point where people start to lose money going to work.
I like that name, Ecolenemy.
Today I saw a wonderful National Geographic video on the Siberian tigers, and I played it for Amber.
Oh, I bet she loved that.
Yeah, she did. She got to see the Siberian tiger video, and it was about a guy named Suyang Park, who actually spent 6 months in a hole, 4 foot by 4 foot hole, waiting to see tigers in the natural habitat up in Siberia walk in front of him. It was amazing. 4 foot by 4 foot hole. He spent like 6 months in there, and he was talking about how he literally was living on 2 little cups of rice and some nuts, and he would defecate into a baggie, and somebody would come by and pick it up every 2 or 3 weeks. I mean, I couldn't believe that anyone would do that just to see the tiger in its natural environment. I just thought that was, phenomenal amount of patience he must have. Kind of a Howard Hughes kind of thing. It's no problem. I thought I'd share that with you. Well, I can tell you that if you guys have a huge amount of gas storage ability, you could buy gas right now and you will be saving money in the long run. But gas won't last more than 6 months unless you add an additive to it. Otherwise, gas gets old sitting around. So if you're planning on buying fuel, and that's a good idea, we should top off any backup fuel we have. So top off your tanks right now. You don't know what's going to happen. It is a good story, yeah. I'm waiting in a 4 foot by 4 foot hole of my own mind in the show, yeah.
Giraffe brain because we live in a prison, in a police state. Has nothing to do with our guilt or innocence. Has everything to do with the police state that we live in.
Why don't you take a break and come back when you're arrested? Because you just got in the door, okay? So get comfy.
That's okay.
If you want to hang out, you can. Some
I'll
Disney
hang out
employees.
till 8:30.
Okay, cool. Check this out. You guys heard about the 23 people that were infected at Disneyland with measles? Disneyland Anaheim is reporting more cases of potential employees have contracted measles. Up to 53 cases have been confirmed in California. Wow. Look at that, everybody. Unbelievable. Anyway, thank you. I will go move it over to the other side whenever I want to do the story. That's a non-keeper. Yeah, we met on the internet back in 1998, Sarah and I. Amazing event, too. We loved it. It was the best time of my life. I can honestly say, driving down there in a nice car.
Looking forward to it.
Looking forward to being with you after talking to you on the phone. And I had this incredible rush when I met her. It was a weird feeling. It was like, whoa, this is like joy, total joy. I just saw her coming to the car, and I just felt something's good here. I could just feel it. It was like that real weird rush you get when you meet somebody that you know you're going to spend time with. So, kind of amazing. Yeah, okay, I'm going to step out for a second.
Okay, so have a good, yeah. Thank you. I'm happy to. I don't know that song. Yeah, that's what I heard, DJ DJ nuts. 11 of 12 of the balls were deflated. Oh. What's my favorite kind of music? I like modern music. Right now, there's this really cool song I like that's pretty new. It's like, I don't know the name of it. It's like, pushing against the water, crashing down the waves, not falling. Something. It's by this guy. I don't know. Yes, I do like Taylor Swift's "Shake It Off." Shake it off, shake it off. I do like that, and I like her other one, like "I'll Write Your Name." I like that one too, and that's Bob Dylan and New Punk. And then I like. Well, I like that one because haters gonna hate. You know, it's like, for me, it's like all about the trolls of the world. Anyway, but the other song, there's this new song that I really, really like.
What about the one where she sings, "You don't have to try.
Oh, I like that try song.
You don't have to
too.
try. You don't have to try." No, I went into the kitchen and got myself a little bit of pasta salad I made from my calamari. I found a place I can buy a calamari for $2.50 a pound. I mean, I don't even know what they don't even know what they're doing, but yeah, I put calamari in the pasta salad for $2.50 a pound. It's so good. It's like eating lobster. I discovered a secret to creating my own little mock lobster dish. Yeah, I mean, calamari for $2.50 a pound. I mean, I'm going to go buy some more. It's good for glucosamine. My joints, as I get older, are getting a little light in the glucosamine area. So, I mean, because I work out all the time, I do limit my carbs, yeah. But I work out all the time, and I've developed muscles so great and so big that it was actually bulging off of my body. And it's starting to look like love handles. I've got these flabs of steel. It's strange. I don't know how to describe it. Yeah, mock lobster. It's great. You don't have to try. You don't have to try at all. Yeah, so you don't really have to try to promote us. It doesn't have to be a hard thing. Just telling people about a third party is really all that we expect right now. Because you don't have to try. You don't have to try. You can just become a mock lobster. I swim everywhere. Everywhere I go, I swim. Yes.
Yeah, I don't know the song, but it's really good.
It's a good song you just heard.
Pushing against the stream.
You know what you can do with your phone? Your phone has a technology on it, and every phone does now, the iPhones. The Android application you get, actually, when you get the phone, listens to the song that's playing on the radio, and will tell you what the song is, and even give you a link to buy that song on a DVD or on a download. It's amazing. Have you guys seen that? Have you used it on your phone yet? Not many people are using all the features on their iPods or their phones, their Android phones.
I wonder if this is true.
Am I even on the screen? Let me see if where my head is. I don't even know if my head's even on the screen. Oh, it is. Okay. Great. Are a lot of you people heavily fluoridated and unable to communicate on a high cognitive level? Are you having a difficult time with my conversation, or should I speak slower? Or?
I wonder if this is it. I'm going to see.
Okay.
Waves.
Mr. Anderson, I presume. You are heavily fluoridated, I know. It's happening to a lot of people. They drink tap water all day. Mr. Sponheim.
Take Me to Church is pretty good, too.
Yeah, that's a good one. You know, that story came in. Check out this story from Five Color Patch. We have a link earlier on the show. The government's spending about $500,000 to research gay dating apps like Grindr to see if it increases hypersexuality. This is $500,000, folks. going into unbelievable waste of effort. Really? Sir Mike has a pineal gland brain tumor? Are you serious, Sir Mike? Wow. So you've been living on fluoride all your life. Are you on Prozac by any chance? That's a concentrated form of fluoride, you know. Prozac, the thing implicated in the Columbine killings that the government never admitted? Wow. So anyway, there's this brand new Android application that everyone could activate on their phone. All you have to do is hold the phone up against a radio and look at it, and it says, oh yeah, that's Katy Perry singing, you know, blah, blah, blah. Singing dark, I think there's a song she does called Dark Music or something. Yes, my nurse is Michael Lamole. It's not from fluoride.
Here.
What is it? You want me to contact your neurosurgeon? Talk to him, sir, Mike? I can give him a call. I would love to chat with him about your problem. Being I don't have a medical degree, from a layman's perspective, I could probably, you know, find out more.
I don't think this is it.
You know a guy that sells Prozac? Who would sell Prozac? Okay, we only going to listen about 10 seconds before they ban us.
Oh yeah, this is it.
Oh, it is? Where's the best part of it? This is it, everybody. Mr. Props, the Robin Schultz remix.
Listen to this song.
Is there anywhere in this song? You check it out.
It feels like drowning, pulling against the street.
That's good.
Cool, I like it.
And it feels like I'm drowning, pulling against the stream. This is the song I really like right now.
Well, that's great. We can't play it for you because of the copyright issues, but yeah. Just a good piece of chance. Yoko and I are working together to make things better for everyone.
We can download this.
Just a good piece of chance. Okay, well, any other questions tonight regarding technology, feel free to ask, because I know everything there is to know. I wrote the code that made the young men and girls and women cry. Was that Barry Manilow? I wrote the songs that made the young... Okay, let's just move on here. I mean, this is starting to stagnate with just music playing in the background.
How do I pause it?
That's fine.
No, I had to go back.
You can X out of it.
No, this is from Scissorfy. I was going to download it because he made it.
Oh, you made that?
Yeah.
Oh, are you donating that to our show? Thank you so much. We need new music.
Yes, it is a corduroy blazer.
Okay, I would go for Sir Mike. Are you a pot user at all? Do you smoke pot? Just yes or no, Sir Mike. Right. You don't smoke pot. Okay, I would recommend getting some really... Go to a state that allows medicinal marijuana. Get your pharmacy license. Have your doctor prescribe you medicinal marijuana. Get on it right away. If you really do have a brain tumor growing in your pineal gland. Okay? That's the best thing you could probably do based on the Madrid study done in 2011. And I'm not recommending medical advice here. I'm just saying that's what many people are saying. The Madrid study in 2007 actually shows that THC and cannabinoids will actually reduce the number of brain tumor cell growth by 50%. Okay. I was shocked to see that stat. I mean, I can't say it would cure you, but, you know. All right. Oh, I'm Not President loved me smoking the doob in the blackface video. Yeah. That was pretty awesome. I managed to dry
Thanks
up
for taking such good care of it, Busy.
some lettuce. It's pretty good lettuce, I must say. The fluoride rumor is a myth to control the sheeple. No, the fluoride rumor isn't a myth. It really is controlling the sheeple. Fluoride is, not the rumor. Well, actually, on the air 01, you're drifting into Barack Obama's net neutrality disaster that he's working on right now. There's still, the jury's still out on whether you can actually play music for your own personal gain, if it is Fair use, if it's educational, yes. And you're not gaining anything from it, yes. But, you know, it's a real fine line. There's a lot of people that are building their entire YouTube career copying music, and they're going to be fining a lot of those people tons of money pretty soon. There's been a bunch of them already fined for doing it. You know that, speaking of the prince, the king has died, but the prince, or the man formerly known as Prince, is suing 18 of his closest supporters on Facebook because they took his music and they uploaded it and downloaded it, and they're right now facing lawsuits nearing $1 million apiece. Every one of his top Facebook supporters, Prince. I'm serious, the story is going forward. So don't think for a second you can just play music and go, oh, this is really cool, ha. It's not that easy. All right, so great to have all of you here tonight talking about fun stuff like music and enlightened technologies. And, you know, we are now starting to merge technologies and become intuitive. And we can actually now take devices and walk around and they'll play for us a story about the place we're at. They'll tell us the best place to eat dinner right where we are, the fastest way to get there by bus. I mean, there's all kinds of new mashups that are coming forward because of this shared technology. So we Americans right now are really benefiting from all this big time. The problem is it's not generating a lot of American jobs. When we see big companies like Google and Facebook give huge salaries to a couple of stoners that, you know, hang out at the salad bar, it doesn't make a lot of sense for our country. So I'm proposing the takedown of those monopolies is part of my approach to solving the technological crisis. Because if these monopolies are not going to share and provide more jobs at a lower pay scale to more people, then they are a behemoth that will strangle our nation. They don't produce a lot of products. Facebook has not produced one single product since they opened and amassed a fortune for Mark Zuckerberg. It's not like the old days when they produced products to become billionaires or millionaires. I have a lovely calamari pasta salad in the other room.
I ate already.
But she ate already. Those fries were really good. I didn't eat them all.
You can have them all.
Oh, they're so good.
I had a burger and fries.
Oh, you did? Cool. What does burger had on it?
Bacon and cheese.
Yummy.
It was a big burger, too.
Yes, Romney is going to be up 18 points over Jeb. Yeah, Romney's going to probably pull Jeb's limelight away, and somebody's going to make a very big phone call to Romney and say, I got to make you an offer you can't refuse. And I'll bet Romney will pull out of the race toward the middle of the next year. Something will pop up about his ring of well, we'll talk about it. I can't even get into specific data, but you're going to see something pop up real soon on Mitt Romney. All right. Any other questions? Great.
I will be in 8 minutes.
The price of oil may go down now to all-time lows, and then a huge shortage could occur at that point because maybe the new replacement for King Abdullah won't want to produce any for a while. Seriously. And it would send shivers through the world markets. They may want to pull a big one. And his directive may be to take the Western world down. You know, he's a very conservative Orthodox Muslim. And he's not like the more modernistic guy.
I don't know what that is.
It sounds like my song that I have in the background. I've got a couple of real songs that I made, I put out there. I made a new song recently on acid. Sony acid, that is. It was a little mix that I can play on the show.
Yeah, that Wave song by Mr. Probs, I like that a lot.
It's a good one. I'll have to listen to it with you.
Oh yeah, you'll have to listen to it. It's like, you know how you said some songs are like really powerful?
Yeah.
And they you send you into like a different state.
Yeah.
That's one of those songs.
I made this on acid, Sony acid. Yeah, this is just a backbeat.
That weird, that moaning girl. No wonder if people say what they say about your songs.
There's a moaning girl in the background?
Yeah.
Really? And you know what I was doing in the afternoon.
Gee.
Should I videotape the residents so you'll know for sure I'm just all alone here?
And it's so funny because you bite your lower lip when you listen to this music like Bill Clinton.
I never had any sex with anybody ever in my entire life. I gotta ask you, it's a sequence composer as such. Yeah, you can load samples into Acid. You can get loaded doing that too, when you're loading samples of Acid. All right.
Okay, I'll let the guests chat for the next 5 minutes.
I haven't noticed, but have guests not been able to chat at all on the show?
You turned it off yesterday.
She turned it off yesterday. I was wondering why no one was in our room earlier.
Hello?
I never had saxophone relations with that instrument.
Realize.
Welcome, guests, and welcome to the show, and bless all of you guests. Bless you, children of the troll nation. Bless you. Bring us onto our show. We are preaching the gospel of technology. The better the technology, the cheaper the technology, the more we like it. We don't want technology to take over, and we don't want robocops in our face. We don't want cybernetic organisms walking up to us and saying, I smell THC at this residence. This is something we will not allow according to jurisdiction number 4731. You are now under arrest. I don't want that. Yeah, there's simple economics. More production, lower price. Yeah, John. Except when the production actually gets too cheap, they don't want to produce, and then they shut down the things. Buy Sony Acid Loops, you own copyright with them? Actually, Giraffe Brain, that's not true. I know. I play, whenever I play Sony Acid Loops directly from the library on our show, I get slapped with a copyright notice on every YouTube video I've ever played. And they actually want to monetize, and they want to run advertisements on it because it is a Sony loop. Believe it or not, it's part of an agreement they've made with Sony, where if I play the Sony loop, YouTube gets to advertise on my site. I'm serious. So it's not exactly royalty free. There is a requirement to have to be met. Fruit Loops is cool. I've used a lot of the Looperman is good. Looperman makes free loops that are royalty free. Yeah, it was really pleasant when the guests weren't in, and guests, may that be a recommendation for all of you to be pleasant tonight, okay? It works for me and it works for you. It's the 6 to 9 show. Yeah, and they like to see my love child more often, but I'm a little worried about the Social Security taken by Sony. You know that Arnold Schwarzenegger had his Sony Social Security card number taken in the hack? I don't have a job. I retired 4 or 5 years ago. I'm living the good life now.
I already went the place I needed to go.
I made enough money in my earlier days to sit back and just rest on Easy Street. I live humbly because I made a vow of poverty. My job was an advertiser, and I used to do voiceover work and radio, and I was a news director at a radio station. I got away from all the hullabaloo of life. I'm now moving into my isolation chamber where I'll spend most of my time meditating as I live to be 180 years old. I'll be in the show for the nightly period during our show period, but I won't be spending a lot of time with human beings. I'll be spending more time with the virtual reality that I'm living in. I'm trying to do as little motion to save all my body parts as well. Oh, I demagnetize every day. I degauss my entire body using a magnet. It's one of the ways I'm staying younger, longer. Well, I'm hoping for 180. I basically said I want to live to be 180. I can live 3 times longer than I've lived already. I'm sure of it. Yeah, the isolation tank is a must. And you have to have a regular exercise in a controlled environment like a swim spa. But you guys can work and toil and breathe pollution, driving on the freeways 30 miles back and forth to work, so you can support the consumer god. And you do that and live to be about 60 and die of a heart attack. Me, I'm going to sit back and enjoy life, okay? I'm not a slave. I'm not a wage slave. I decided to retire early, okay? Blame me. But everyone, Sarah wants to create a good retirement account, so she's working hard. I don't believe in the printed dollar and the fiat currency we're currently living with enough to think that that's going to be the future.
I don't know. I'm 610.
Marijuana says my cells will be healthy. Yeah, it's very possible. I'm 154 years old. Yeah. Like the great one. Yes. Thor the Valiant was supposedly 800 years old. And he came here during the 30s and shared his technological information to people like Werner von Braun, in which you may have heard of them because he developed the neutron bomb. David, your magazine and site cater to the materialists you just been. No, I don't have any gain from that. I've priced all those things so high no one wants to buy them. Yeah. Thank you for asking, though. Who provides your health care covered required by law? Medicaid. If I get sick, God forbid, and it probably won't because I live in my isolation tank. But if I do get sick, Medicaid will kick in and they'll seize my assets. They'll go after my house and then put people into medical bankruptcy. That's what Medicaid does. I don't need a gym. I basically am all natural. My entire body is sculpted like an Adonis. So I just have to, work out daily in a swim spa and I'm fine. I'm minimizing, it's a low impact workout schedule. So I don't overstress my heart. That's the one thing you don't want to, poor Dick Cheney had to replace, portions of it. Anti-aging tips, don't eat too much sugar. That's the newest research in technologically advanced research in gerontology right now. Sugar can weaken your cell's strength and lower their ability to be elastic. Your cells become inelastic. This has been proven. University of San Francisco study shows that you'll live twice as long, too, if you eat half as much. Masturbation is part of a daily ritual for a lot of people. I don't really think it's relevant to the political discussion. I eat very healthy. Yeah, I started working out and eating organic food when I was a young man. In fact, I was one of the first marketers of organic food around the country. I introduced organic food to the Safeway market chain, along with a couple of other marketing chains like Kroger. And I was the one who actually brought the message to them that people want to eat healthy and they're willing to pay 40% more. And it's been a big boom profit for Safeway. By the way, that Safeway takeover by Hagen has not passed the Federal Trade Commission yet. It's still hung up at the Federal Trade Commission. They haven't decided whether Hagen can buy Safeway. No, I'm not wealthy. I'm just a person who lives within my means. Organic food was cool, yeah. I'm not that hung up about organic food anymore, though. I think we have to just accept that all food is irradiated with Fukushima radiation. You use Medicaid to buy lube? I'm sure that lubrication is cheaper if you just went over the counter. Why do you not use Medicaid for that? You looked into my business, they went nowhere? Yeah, most of my businesses have not gone anywhere, but I never lost any money on my businesses. And I can assure you, I won't lose money on this business of America. We won't go into debt like we are right now. These people are spending money left and right. It's insane. How could Hagen buy Safeway? Safeway was recently picked up by Cerberus. They say it's a U.S.-based company, but it's really foreign-owned. Cerberus bought Albertsons and Safeway, and now they don't need the Safeway chain, so Cerberus is trying to flip their sale and try to make some money to Hagen. That's the deal. Hold on just a second. We're up in the middle of a chat session. I should share in chat. Thank you, Modesto. Yeah. A lot of derogatory things are coming in here that you chatters who are guests, you need to get real accounts. It's not appropriate for you to do that. I know. Can you believe this? God. And these people come in here wanting to attack the show like they're going to stop me from running for president. How absurd is that? Anyway, we wrote this book called Hybrid Capitalism. It's on our website. Here's some beautiful music. Let me hear this. Is that an oboe scissor fight? Our country isn't turning a profit right now, but I've never lost any money in business. We're losing money hand over fist. I will plug the leaks in our country's budget. For sure. I know, they left me no choice. See, being so disrespectful, Topper Dan. And you, of all people, being you're obsessed with Sarah, would know that. I have never stolen Obama's ideas. In fact, all of my ideas are original. He never came up with hybrid capitalism. I did. Obama is a person who's never had any original ideas at all. He's borrowed all of his ideas from the people around him, ironically, whereas everything you see here is original. Sarah and I have worked diligently to create a brand new plan that will save America and will generate the engine of economic growth that our nation needs so strongly. The music was just something Scissor Fight did on the side. I saw that activist post, Trolls Are. Yeah, let's take a look at that right here. You know, yesterday we were really concerned and talking about the death of the filmmaker Crowley, who developed the documentary Gray State. We played the rough cut, the unedited cut last night because he couldn't finish the edited cut because he and his wife and his daughter were found dead in their Apple Valley apartment. Last week, they reported on the tragic, mysterious death of a film producer, David Crowley, and his wife and young daughter, who were all found dead in their Apple Valley home weeks after the incident took place. Few details have emerged since then. The latest news pieces, such as Here and Here, leave more questions than answers. According to the county medical examiner, all three have been officially identified and died from gunshot wounds to the heads weeks ago. Even though the deaths are being treated as suspicious and the back sliding door was found ajar, police have labeled it a murder-suicide. You see what they've done? Thank you so much. This is classic, where they mold the argument to fit around the murder-suicide right away. They don't even bother investigating, they just start this. The same thing happened with Nancy Schaefer, the state senator in Georgia who died with her husband. She was investigating Child Protective Services, and she and her husband were found dead. They were about ready to release a two-hour movie that was in production and was going to be finished, revealing the secrets behind a child trafficking ring overseen by what she claimed was Child Protective Services. She and her husband are dead. Well, throwing off the killer, I don't know. It looks to me like whoever got close to those people, David Crowley and his wife and daughter, were probably, I would say, if I were to profile that case, and I'm not a professional profiler, but I'm very good. If I were to profile that case, I would say definitely somebody they knew and somebody they trusted pulled a gun on him. Do you think Obama will go to Saudi Arabia to pay respects to King Abdullah? I do. I really do. He's already bent over and kissed the king's ring finger. So chances are he's going to want to show some pretty heavy respect. And you know, he's got to keep things going because he's got about a year and a half left to his presidency. And if he doesn't keep the price of oil down, working with the new half-brother who's taking over, there's a good chance that our country is going to go into a tailspin economic disaster if the price skyrockets to $5 a gallon again. You never know. I mean, stranger things have happened. Still looking for that picture of him kissing. You know, I'm just going to look it up online. It's the fastest way to find anything. Yeah, so that whole incident with the brothers, the Sarnaff brothers, that's going to be delayed now, the case. The Boston Marathon alleged attacker was shown wearing a backpack going in and wearing a backpack going out. But not these civilian support teams that were in the middle of the Boston Marathon area. One guy had a backpack in this picture and the other guy has it gone. So there's a lot of interdicting factors that could ultimately basically acquit and let Dzhokhar Tsarnaev walk free. It's possible. No, our economy's not getting stronger, Topper Dan. How do you explain Sears, J.C. Penney's, now Target, and Radio Shack nearly closing their doors? How do you explain that, Topper Dan, with your mindless statement that the economy is getting stronger, which it's not? It's getting weaker. We're not sure which opponent stole my signs or which group of supporters of those opponents stole my signs. All I know is my competitors took 90% of my signs during the last election. Monarch, I disagree with you, and I'm amazed you're still in the show. You know, I'm going to kindly ban you and keep you out of the show because all you do is demoralize what I do every night. He comes in here because he's grossly jealous of me, and he doesn't have the intelligence I have. He constantly comes in here and just rags on our show. You see how he does that? Okay, you're out. Take care on the air, 01. Appreciate you coming in. Well, you could say Radio Shack has been outsourced by new technology, but I'm going to argue that Radio Shack is not progressively thinking. They're not thinking about a possible, maybe a remake of their concept. What Sarah and I have determined they need to do is change their name, but keep the same signs they currently have. It's a radical new makeover for Radio Shack. It'll be called Rad iOS Hack. And it's my concept of a solution for a company that's laboring right now. They're only worth $38 million. Mark Zuckerberg could buy them right now and turn them into the coolest hangout for all the local young people with a juice bar, computer systems that people can learn together on. The iOS is basically, of course, internet operating system. Rad iOS. So just change the name, add 2 dots, and repackage the store. Make it cool. They're losing their money. Everybody is. No, Topper Dan, what you're seeing is an incredibly globalistic nightmare unfold for American companies. You realize that in 2009 alone, 16,000 U.S. companies sold out and closed down their doors? That's been happening every year at that clip. And you're just standing here saying this is a vibrant economy. We have to adapt or die. You don't understand America because you are one of those people that embrace globalization. You would rather sell your country short and basically be a traitor and bend over and grease up for some foreign competitor and say, well, sure, come on in. As long as they're cheap, they're better for us. Oh. No. You're basically a turncoat. You're a treasonous turncoat. And people like you are going to end up facing the... Marie Antoinette had the same problem with people. Let them eat cake, and then they hacked her head off. I know, shopping malls are on the brink of closing as well, Time Pilot. So don't listen to Topper Dan. He's the reigning penny stock salesman in our chat room who thinks that everything's going up. That's the kind of thing he does on the phone when he calls somebody. He says, hello, have I got a good stock for you? Let me tell you, it's only got a penny, but it's bound to go up to 8 cents. Let me tell you. You're a scam artist. You're a bottom dweller. I like Gray State. I didn't think it was as intense as the trailer. And my overall opinion was that the trailer was so good that it probably scared the crap out of the Illuminati, and they said, oh my God, this guy's going to be the best filmmaker ever. But it turns out the documentary isn't even close to the quality of the trailer. But I love the documentary, and I thank the work that he did, he and his wife and all the others. My God. We'll be streaming it again. Would you like to see it tonight? Because we normally play technology videos. I think I'd rather stream it on Freedom Friday, if that's okay with you. No, I don't understand a damn thing with your penny stock thing, Topper Dan, because you're a greed monger. You're the kind of person we don't like in our country. You're the kind of person the average American looks at and just spits on. All you care about is profiting from some schmuck on the phone. You don't care whether you buy or sell their stock. You make money. You're like who is that? The Wolf of Wall Street, played by Leonardo DiCaprio. See that movie. It'll be looking at yourself in the mirror. the meltdown and down the abyss of narcissism and greed. It'll take you down that road. Anyway, I'm here for credible, rational people that want a better country, that don't want big greedy pigs dominating our politics. We don't want you scumbags running in our party around. We're not going to do your bidding. So you scumbag, corrupt cronies of the two-party system, you're really not invited here. You don't know that, but you're really not invited in our room because all you care about is money and your own personal gain. It's sickening. Nope, none of my plans have taxpayers footing the bill. In fact, I have a plan to create an infrastructure bank. And I've talked about this frequently. With a 2% loan directly from the U.S. government. Now, your tax dollars won't be impacted because the infrastructure bank draws from the same discount window that the Fed draws from right now. So it's not like we're doing anything we aren't doing right now. But we also have a plan called Renewable Energy Savings Bonds, where the American people can invest in a fund that will be handled by the infrastructure bank. The Renewable Energy Savings Bonds will be your way of investing in our future. So all growth in our economy could come from the concept of a merge between the private and public sector. This is the first time anything like this has even been talked about. I have a revolutionary idea, and we call it hybrid capitalism. And I can't tell you how important it is for us to actually fuel the growth of our own economy. And yes, the government is responsible for creating jobs. This is where Barack Obama has had it all wrong. We're not going to be able to get a solid growth process going again and gain new traction unless we start producing products. And those products have to be renewable energy products. We cannot just stand around and fund corporations of greedy capitalists and venture capitalists like you, Topper Dan. We'll lose our money. If we gave our money to companies like Solyndra, they're just going to do what they did. Take $527 million and suck it dry. That's what companies do. They try to make a profit. That's what Goldman Sachs talks about. So your concept of pure capitalism and greed and credit expansion has actually led us down a very, very dark road where our options are pretty bleak right now. Once we get a 1-star rating as a nation, you'll see. No, you're providing a pie-in-the-sky dream of market liquidity. You're not offering real liquidity. I'm offering solvency and real liquidity. You're offering some hellacious nightmare of printed money in the fractional reserve banking system. All right, do you want to go too? I'm not taking your tax money and doing anything. I believe my chances are 12%, assuming I get into the mainstream media. Once I get into the mainstream media and have a fairly favorable response or controversial response, whichever comes first, my chances bump up to 34%. But me being out here in the blogosphere right now, with no one ever giving me any chance to talk about politics with any important people in the media, I don't think I get past 12%. You see, they're controlling the message. They're directing the message. The two parties are scared of people like me because I'll rip them apart verbally. I will take them down. I will show you the weaknesses in their way of thinking and how they've led us astray. There's a lot of third parties out there, never Neil. Yeah, and I applaud everybody who's trying to run under the third party banner. I really do. The more the merrier. We need more competition and we need to get the best man put forward. Zoltan Istvan is an American writer, futurist, philosopher, and he's running as well. Very cool. Sounds Hungarian, yeah. But yeah, the bottom line is we need a change, and we're not getting the kind of change that Obama promised us. Now he's redefining it like he's a great president and somehow he's going to be even better, even though he's not. Any moron would tell you that his lies that he spewed last night, or was it, yeah, were just completely erroneous. Promises. Almost a facade that he carries of promising, and it's like he's still running for president. I said to Sarah, I said, this is bizarre. It's almost like Barack Obama is telling them that when he's president, he'll do all these things. Because all the Democrats are so mindless and accepting of everything he says that they don't realize he's been president for 6 years and he hasn't done diddly squat. I've always been serious, Ivan. You are one of those people that is actually completely off the grid of where we're at. A lot of people have come to this show because they support the concept of a third party. You, Ivan, you don't believe in anything. You're a cynic. And I've watched a lot of your chat and I've read enough of it to know that you don't believe in anything. So you're one of those people that'll get mowed over by the emerging political party that will take shape in this country. You'll wonder, wow, how come I didn't become part of that in the early days? I do believe silver could hit $100 an ounce, Mrs. Clucker. But what's going to happen really is when the markets start scrambling to cover their ass, when the money markets, which are not secure, start unwinding, there's $24 trillion in the money markets. When the basic mortgages start to buckle, and they're doing that right now with Janet Yellen, she stopped buying back mortgage-backed securities 2 months ago. So there's going to be a lot of people trying to sell wholesale real estate just to get out from under their nut. And that's going to put a shiver through the money market, and eventually it'll leach into the main sector of the stock market, and the 401ks will take a big hit. Then you're going to see people scrambling to put their money anywhere. And many people are going to try to buy up silver and gold. That's the last refuge of most scared, bearish investors. And when they go there, they'll be buying up all the actual tangible silver and gold. And then the paper silver and gold market that COMEX and the New York Mercantile runs will begin to falter, because they couldn't possibly print up enough paper that's not backed by real silver and gold. And the American people will realize, wow, this is a good investment. Then it'll become a $100 an ounce opportunity for you. Okay, so if you buy into it, I don't think you're going to lose money in the long run. No, John, I'm very prepared for a real run. But nobody in this room or in this show understands that you got to jump out of your little box that you're in, the paradigm you're in, and actually participate in this political movement of a third party. You've got to post our link all over the internet. You've got to donate to us or do something to help promote the image of America's third party. If you don't do that, we will never get off the ground, and the pipe dream of a third party will never happen. That's what the powerful elitists are counting on. They believe that they can shoot everybody down who's an average person who has great ideas and basically relegate them into the political dumpster of eternal damnation. Now, right now, you can, for $30 donation, you can put up 7 signs in your area that I will send to you directly to your house for $30. And that I'm making nothing. There's no donation at all out of that. It's basically a promotion campaign to get America's third party out there. Now, if you really want to get behind this, you could put this sign, and I'll have all the signs like this one. There'll be 4 black and white, 3 color in the box, but they're going to be on stiff foam backing, and they're water resistant, and the stakes are included in this offer. Now, if you don't want to do this, and you just sit back and go, oh yeah, you'll never be president, then you might be surprised when I suddenly become president and you're eating your own words right back at you. Because that's what I had to do with Barack Obama. When they forced him on us and forced him in front of us with a completely paid campaign, focus groups, money, bought you Obama. And you got what you paid for. A guy who didn't give the American people 1 penny. Trading volatility isn't there yet, I agree. Topper Dan. Topper Dan, demoralizing people, I understand more about economics than you ever will. And I can tell you, I understand the core elements that are playing out in this economic slide that we're seeing. We are looking at catastrophe theory 101. We are looking at an enlarged credit economy that is starting to buckle under its own pressure. The interest alone on the debt is almost equal to the amount of money we make off the GDP. The interest alone on the debt. That's a serious turning point in this credit economy, and that's why we are imminently headed toward a meltdown. I do agree with Peter Schiff and hyperinflation and the concept that's going on the undertow of this economy. If you want to stand there and be an absolute moron, which you are, Topper Dan, a completely uneducated, or I'm going to say uneducated, educated fool who's been taught the bylines without understanding the inner dynamics of the economic collapse that we're experiencing. I had this argument with Milton Friedman in 1978, you moron. And I can tell you that I'm gonna ban you because you're done. You're basically a prolific idiot who comes in our show and just constantly disturbs us. Thank you, Golden Orbs. But no, we've seen a huge drag on our economy because we're literally just paying the interest on our debt. And we're enlarging our debt at the same time. Ivan, I'm afraid you're wrong there. The pendulum is going to move the other way again. I'm sorry to say. And you far left commie pigs will not inherit the White House in 2016, I assure you. All right. You're done too, Ivan. Bye. Well, thank you for saying that. I'm 54 years old. Oh, I know. He's worthless. It's like, why do I even allow these trolls in the room to interrupt the conversation I'm having with good people like you, Golden Orbs, and you, Evil Entity? I mean, you're all good people. I've got so many good people in this room. I hate to allow... Hi, Irritable Bowels is in. That's cool. I hate to allow somebody like these naysayers to dominate our conversation because we got a lot of good conversations going here. He doesn't understand politics. He's just a common penny stockbroker. It's pathetic. No, Vic, I'm afraid I'm not. Vic, I'm actually Obama's worst nightmare. I'm an intelligent, articulate white man running for president. Thank you. And I hope best luck to Zoltan Istvan. The more the merrier. Okay, so technology. In real terms, technology is me allowing guests to chat. Hi there, yeah. Are you? What do you being white have to do with anything regarding Obama? Well, I don't know. Why do you think it's a problem when Obama says that he's being treated like some sort of a car hop? When our president says that he's treated like a car hop and viewed as like a car hop, when he spent $2 billion of our tax dollars going on vacation with his transgender lover, Michelle, why would I have a problem? I can't tell you how messed up that is. Nobody's treated Barack Obama with racist hostility at all. Nobody. I certainly haven't. Whatever he is, he's not what you think he is. He is a profound and utter liar who has been a prolific liar all his life. From the early days when he was a homosexual in college to his formative political days when he lied over 82 times publicly. And these are noted lies. Obama has a very speckled record and a dark past. And there's no pun there. He's covered up everything. The very first thing that Barack Obama did when he became president was pass an executive order disallowing anybody to get to his records. Tell me that's the action of an honest man. Seriously. Just look at a list of things that he's done to jeopardize our freedom and tear down our privacy, and he's done it with a smile on his face the whole time. And the transgender lover he's got, Michelle, I don't think that any of you realize that this is one of the biggest deceptions ever pulled off in American history. And I do believe there is and truly is an Obama deception, and it's not just the movie that Alex Jones made. The deception is so ubiquitous and omnipresent that you're being lied to almost constantly. So for us to sit here with this homosexual Muslim half-baked, God knows what he's smoking president who lies all the time and wonder, wow, how come we can't get him to agree with the Republican Party? And then you Democrats sit there and go, oh, wow. He's the best speaker I've ever heard. I can't wait till he becomes president. He'll solve everything. You're probably still saying that. A lot of you are going, wow, and when Barack Obama gets elected, he'll save the world. That's how bad it is. August 2012. Thank you. The article about a guy catching rainwater. Thank you. All right, so we had our little guest chat, gave them a chance to talk. They got their time. That's not photoshopped. I have studied this picture in detail. And I can tell you, upon enlarging of the area, there are no obvious Photoshop signs at all. Take a look at the pixelization that occurs. It's a natural position. Let me show you a picture that is photoshopped, that you'll see pixelization. There's no pixelization in there. Everything's anti-aliased as it would be in an original picture. Pixelization occurs when halftones and binary images start to conflict. Like on his forged birth certificate. This flamboyant gay man who became your president. Yes. His forged birth certificate is a classic example of binary and halftone images mixed together. And if you want more information about that, you can certainly listen to a radio interview I had with Doug Vogt in our radio archive. It's 5 back in our archive. If you go to our radio icon at America's Third Party, you can see it. Well, thank you everybody for a great night, sharing, talking about the issues. I didn't really dwell on Obama's problem because we really need to move on and talk about the issues now. We can't just linger and regret that we had such a failure as a president. Well, whether he's a reptilian or whatever he is, it's going to be over in about a year and a half, and we can move on. Our country is in dire need of leadership and a person with great ideas, and I can assure you I can deliver both. We are at a very pivotal point in our nation's history. It's not getting better, it's getting worse. So don't listen to the lies that Obama spewed in the State of the Union address. Monarch, go away. Just please. Get a life. Did your mom ever tell you to get a life? Maybe you need to get a life. Don't hang out in our room, you're not really helping. Our campaign, Never Kneel? Sure. Yeah, thank you for coming in and asking about that. Let me give you guys a heads up as to how to do this. We didn't have the name of our site on our name like we usually do, on our banner. But I can give you a quick tour of our site. It's americasthirdparty.com. And as you can see, I'm live in the show. Isn't that cool? Let me give you the link. And in that site, I've got an entire platform worked out for our country to resolve its problems. And it's kind of funny. I'm looking at myself into an infinity. But yeah, the site's there. If you want to, if you go to the main site, this is the main page. That's the video chat page, by the way. And you can always access it right here. But if you want to talk about our mission, history of my personal life, what led me to want to run for president, that's all here. A little bit of my writing. A platform which attacks every issue that's currently pending in America. Energy options, global climate change, regionalization, how to solve our local problem and create profit centers for people locally instead of having vegetables shipped from all around the world into our country. A national defense plan. It's all very well developed. Even ending the TSA. We talk about bringing our troops home and having them work at airports instead of these TSA guys that are costing $7 billion a year, where our military is already getting paid. They could easily be used. We've got all kinds of things here. I mean, it just goes on. And we've got a book at our store. I showed you the book. It's called Hybrid Capitalism. You can buy a copy for about $20, have it mailed to you, or you can download it. The Kindle ebook is available for $7.99. So, yeah, we're just getting started, folks, even though we've been doing this for about 6 years. So, hey, no problem. We aren't pushing people into a third party. It has to be something that you believe will solve America's problems or begin to. Thank you, DJ Stingy. Appreciate it. I would love to have a guest in the show, John and Cage, but we can't get any credible guests to be on our show. So the problem is most people don't take anybody seriously who's running as a third-party candidate. So it's hard to get legitimate people on our show. And when we do get trolled, it's more of a joke. And for people that are saying, David, you're just a humor guy, you're a funny guy. I don't want to be a funny guy. I have to be a funny guy. Thank you very much, Evil Enmity. Appreciate it. I have to be a cutting-edge funny guy to make politics fun for people. I'm a funny guy by nature, but I'm so serious about this pursuit of the presidency because I have so many great ideas that it may come off as a joke, but it's really quite serious. We only have a limited amount of time to do this because the totalitarian regime of money-controlled government is swooping down and slowly going to control our entire internet. Even today, Eric Schmidt said from Google that the internet will be a thing of the past soon. And he really is on the cutting edge, being a member of Google, former CEO of Google. He knows that they are buying up everything and they're going to turn it into an intranet. And they won't allow people like us on doing a live show like this. We will have to pay lots of money to do a show like this. You see all these networks? No, you're late on the show, I beyond that. Sorry, but you'll see some after videos if you want. But they're basically making it so that internet video sites like Stickcam, gone. Justin, gone. Remember Blog TV? Gone. They're systematically buying up the apparatus and pretty soon they'll own everybody. And I respect Mark Vaughn for not selling out. I can tell you that. I respect the fact that he doesn't want to sell out. And I appreciate the fact that he gives us a chance to broadcast. But we'll be broadcasting at americasthirdparty.com on any means possible, whether it's JustCast or StreamUp or some other site. But you're seeing the internet basically being bought up. And Eric Schmidt's right. They're going to own it pretty soon, and no one will be allowed on. He is a champion of free speech, for sure. Long live liberty, everybody. And thanks for hanging in there, and keep talking about a third party to everybody you can. And blog about it. Give our link, americasthirdparty.com. That's all I can hope for at this point. Thank you so much for being here. We'll talk about his ideologies. I know. Well, I appreciate you trying to get behind somebody's ideologies. I'll take a look at Zoltan's ideologies. You know, we are open to all kinds of independent ideas combined. In fact, our concept originally, and still is, was to build a political platform that will give everybody something. The Green Party will get legalization of marijuana, and we'll see all kinds of new solutions like cutting waste, like the Reform Party was all about, Ross Perot. So we want to bring everybody, all the independents together into this combined plan. So we put together an umbrella party called America's Third Party, and this is an older picture from 2012. But yeah, Green Party, Libertarian, Reform Party, progressives. I'm a progressive. I'm also a fiscal conservative, so I keep my progressiveness in check. But most of all, we're all independents, and that's what makes this a possible solution for America's problems, especially as we approach the 2016 era. All right, everyone, thank you so much for coming in. We'll play some technology for you to be wowed by. Google is building a car that can drive itself. Check this out.
Google is making the leap from search engines to car engines, but not for just any car. The new Google car is unlike anything else on the road because it drives itself.